Lauren Sizzle.
And a beautiful.
Classy Lady
And
Sparkle.
a beautiful.
Lady Esther.
And my guy.
Andrew Metellus, Favela Boys Apparel.
That's right. In the building. So you know what we got coming up next, right?
We got the sizzle part too.
That's right.
Holla at me.
All right. So let's get into Reesa Teesa. All right, so Reesa Teesa is a TikToker who went viral for creating a 52 plus. I said plus because she's still putting out content. Wow. But it's a 52 plus part tell-all docuseries, basically titled "Who the F Did I Marry?" So it consists of 52 plus little 10-minute segments where she's chronicling the story of how she met, married, and divorced a pathological liar, all within a year's time. So I'm gonna do my best with trying not to have spoiler alerts because I know people have not seen it yet, and
We don't care, but you can spoil it. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you live.
but people do care. So
I got you.
yeah, you know, especially women.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of us don't, but go ahead.
Yeah, but so the running time of all the parts is nearly 8 hours. So and I watched the whole thing over the course of a few days. So she has other follow-up clips where she's doing live videos to address people's questions. So without giving away too much of the hard details of her story, Reesa Teesa met this guy called Legion on March 4th, 2020. And she purposely changed the names of the people involved so that she could conceal their identities. So they met on Facebook dating and another site where they matched as well. You know how when you match with somebody because you create your profile and then they match you with people. Well, they also matched on Hinge. So they basically were looking for someone on multiple sites, I guess the two of them. Well, he had 2 different names and 2 different pics on both sites, which kind of stood out to her initially. So he starts telling her he just moved to Georgia from San Diego after getting a promotion to transfer to a regional manager position for a corporation in Georgia. He tells her that he played arena football in California. Legion told her that he grew up in Philadelphia. So once I heard the Philadelphia part, my antennas went up because I'm from Philly. You know, we're from Philly. So I'm like, who is Bull? You know, that's when you say Bull. Who was Bull?
Who the bull?
Who Bull? Like, who mans is this?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So then he says his dad was a Philadelphia police officer and his mom was a retired teacher. So I'm like, I may know this guy. So let me look into this so I can find
Bull.
Yeah. But you know how you want to know just in case, like, what if I ever run into this guy? I'm not doing dating sites, but, anyway. So he's saying he had brothers and sisters in different states. Reesa Teesa at the time, she was employed with Georgia State Troopers. So they met, they got close. They started quarantining together when COVID hit within the first 2-3 weeks or whatever. So after some months of living together, they did all this house hunting, car shopping, the whole bit. She
Car shopping.
Yeah, it's twisted. It's twisted. I don't want to put out too many details, but they was doing all this stuff because he was a fraud. Like, he really had her going to these places thinking that he was going to buy her this lavish house and these cars. He had her test driving cars and I see you in a Mercedes Benz, and he would act like he getting ready to pay for it. And it just was so much. So back to the marriage. After they exchanged vows at the Justice of Peace, things started getting crazy and everything just spiraled from there, and she gets caught up in a whirlwind of lies and deception.
Hold on real quick.
So,
how long did they meet?
So they met March 4th. And throughout the thing, she's giving dates, specific dates of what happened at what time and da-da-da. Because when she went to meet him, they were going to go to Cheesecake Factory, which is one of the places that she kind of, chuckled about it, that the long list of the places you don't go on first dates. So on her way there, her tire blew out. And he, instead of meeting her at the place, he came directly to her. He fixed her tire.
Okay.
And then they kind of hit it off from there. So, but she finally starts after they got married and they went through all this stuff, and she finally starts doing some research on this guy. After you got married, you finally start doing. She finds out about his infidelity.
Hold that thought real quick. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregg and the beautiful
Lawrence Sissel.
and the beautiful
Classy Ladies
and the beautiful
Lady Esther.
and my guy
Andrew Metellus.
Yes. So she finds out about his real employment. All these ex-wives, this family, this fake family that he created. His criminal background with all this stuff. She finally finds out about it. But basically, everything he told her was a lie, with the exception of like 2 or 3 things. He's having these conversations within earshot of her, but really not talking to anybody on the phone, which was crazy and creepy. And the people that he said he was talking to were deceased.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. So he's like, I was on the phone with my uncle. But then when she finally talks to his brother, his real brother, and he's telling her the facts, he's like, oh, that uncle died 10 years ago, or, however long it was. And he was like, there's no way he was talking to that uncle on the phone because he was dead. Well, basically, eventually she files for a divorce, and then she tries to get away from him, but it's kind of like a struggle. Eventually she does. But now there are other women who are speaking out about their experiences with this guy whose name she called
same
Legion.
guy.
Yes.
Oh,
But yes, as these women start talking, his ex-wife, who we've now found out her name is LaToya Everett, she spoke out about he tried to ruin her life. And now he's identified as Jerome McCoy.
So what is this, in Atlanta, Georgia? Or?
Well, all this took place in Georgia, like around Clayton County and all that. And he's connected to Rhode
What's
Island.
his real name?
Jerome McCoy.
Oh God.
Yeah, because he lived in Philly up until high school, and he moved to I think Atlanta or something like Georgia, and he was there for a couple years.
That was red flags right there, because
Exactly.
Atlanta is scamming town.
Right. But throughout the video, she is making these disclaimers about how she should have done her research ahead of time. She kind of moved too fast, but she really wanted women to know about this man and share her story. So now she's at 3 million followers on TikTok. Her series has amassed over 200 million views. Wow. So as far as revenue from her series, TikTok's creative program pays roughly $1 for every 1,000 views. So she's made over $200,000 on TikTok alone from this. So,
And this is her husband?
well, he's her ex-husband now. Yeah, but she met him in March. They moved in as the quarantine mandates hit, which was the end of March. And then I think she had gotten pregnant and had a miscarriage. Wow. And which she says she was lucky that
she must be a great storyteller.
She was.
Because I've heard of this, but I haven't listened to her.
Yeah. Because it was after a few minutes, you locked in. Mm-hmm. You're locked in. So.
And how many parts did she have?
She has 52 parts. She tells this story over 52 10-minute segments on TikTok, because they don't let you go any longer than 10 minutes. So right. She's talking 10 minutes, and then she's like, all right, this is part 1. And then throughout it, she's backtracking as well.
So it's like a trapped in the closet or a Kelly.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. That's the whole concept right there.
Yes, exactly. So my thing was should there be specific protocols for women to follow when they're meeting men on dating sites? And I'm law enforcement trained, so I'm automatically in private investigator mode all the time. Because when she got to part 10 and she started saying stuff that he was saying, I was like, boo-boo.
Red flag, huh?
Yeah, it was a red flag. I would have tapped out at part 10. But
people are just different, though. When you think about everybody's levels of... I don't want to say common sense, but it's
filters.
Just yeah,
exactly.
it's those filters and just you gotta.
It's different.
It's a lot of things that go into that, right? You know, women is desperate, really want somebody.
Yes.
So the first thing they hear that sounds good to them, they're gonna yield to that, and you start to turn off all your spidey senses and the stuff that you learned as far as security parameters of keeping yourself safe because you hearing something that just sounds good.
But we also gotta remember that was during the pandemic where everybody was down lockdown and you didn't want to be by yourself. And then you have COVID
all that stuff
happening. You don't know, if you're gonna die or live or whatever. All that kind of survival comes in, so you don't want to be by yourself. I think that plays a factor.
But I want to know, okay, besides him talking to the uncle who didn't die, like I didn't hear really nothing. Like, is he not contributing financially? Like,
oh, he was paying bills.
Oh,
like but he told her he had a bank and offshore bank account, and he had realtors that he was meeting, that he was having the realtors take them around to different houses, saying that he had like $725,000 in cash that he was going to put down on the house. But then they were like, show us your bank account. He wouldn't show it. So he was doing things the whole time that was red flags.
But okay, and I get that. But he wasn't extorting her because he was helping pay bills. He was basically trying to be somebody he's not.
He just wasn't who he said.
Right. So he wasn't, instead of a $40,000 a year man, he was trying to say he was a 6-figure, 7-figure man. Mm-hmm. Okay. So she's like, who did she marry? Because she thought she married more of a person that was saying that.
So she was about the bread.
She didn't know who he was.
Well,
that's what it sound like.
I'm just looking at it from both angles.
Coming from Spark, it sounds like pretty much she was just about that bread then, huh?
But
so
he
she saw
acting
that
like
he ain't have it.
Right, but he acting like what he didn't have. Like I'm saying, if you denote it down to the dollar, and I guess he had a manic depression with him talking to deceased people. But I mean, I don't know if I'm hearing like other things that he's done, like.
Well, fidelity, she said that was a factor too.
Well, that was because of his past relationship. I didn't hear that she did it with him.
Well, yeah, he was going on. First of all, there was a prostitute that.
Oh God! Hold up.
I know. I was trying not to tell like the prostitute story.
Hey, Lauren, nobody's gonna watch this, so just go ahead and say it.
I know I ain't watching it.
We don't really care.
Right. So there was a she had got his work phone, and she was going through the text messages, which she said he gave her the password.
Oh, okay, well,
to the phone.
And
so,
if you go looking for something, you're gonna find it.
Right. Exactly. So she found a conversation with basically like a prostitute, where he was like, I want to meet you, and and then he was asking for how much services cost. Like, how much is a BJ? And she's like, $40. Well, what if you want to get this? $60. Yeah, so then.
What if I only got the tip? What if I only did this?
He probably wanted a discount. He probably wanted a discount. Like, if I got those 3, can it come out at a certain price? A discount?
Yeah, so then she said there was like a few weeks or something where there was no conversation, but then she saw something that said, "Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again." So she right.
Yeah.
Right.
What if I just kept my clothes on?
What if you just smile at it?
It was,
this is crazy.
but it was really
Put it
really
in your hand
crazy.
for it now.
Just for what if I don't touch you?
That's how you know right there he ain't had no money. If you need to try, you gotta talk down a $40 prostitute. You broke, dog.
You try to get a discount. That's what you try to do. If I get 3, do I get like a special?
I know. Special. You got a card. The clip
Exactly.
on.
You get a clip with a
punch
card.
card.
The more time we come, I get a free service.
$40. That's funny. What do 35 get me? Just 35.
It's like, yeah, I only got 20. When he get there, I only got 20 on me.
There are people out here, you never know what people have gone through in their previous years, in their childhood. But there are some people out here who have this thing where it's like, I go to a new city or I meet a new person, and that allows me to be whoever I want to be because they don't know me.
They don't know.
So I can go into this situation and be whoever I want to be. And until they find out, they just ride that way.
Yes. Yes.
Your question you had earlier about like what should women do, I would say like one of the key factors would be like, hey, if she has Facebook, go to that Facebook. I would definitely FaceTime. If they have Instagram, go through that, because a lot of time, and then conversation, because a lot of time a person will tell you who they really are to a conversation.
They will.
Because if you pick up, like you said, she pick up on those few things, she would have known already, because he can only stay in character for so long.
And pay attention.
Exactly.
Because guess what he told you this week, if it don't line up with what he said last month, you gotta, use that woman's intuition and all them side eyes that you're doing, and don't let that stuff just pass.
And more than likely, she felt it.
Yeah,
We don't know, but
she
in
know.
her back of her mind, that is, even if it's a 1%, it was there. Like she felt something.
She did say that.
That she was like, "Yo, this is either too good to be true."
What you just say? It was a pandemic.
The pandemic.
People ain't want to be alone.
Yeah.
She
And I
was
said
like,
that.
yo, there's a variant. You hear every week there was a different variant that's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
She was like, damn, I don't want to be by myself.
And this is my point. You got women out here that are desperate and they just want somebody, and anything they say that sound good, they're gonna roll with that. And not use the skills that those built-in skills of tuition that we already have. You know when something is not right or doesn't feel right.
And the other thing is get somebody in your family that you, or if you're just a friend, like get somebody to vet this person, and preferably for women, it's another man. You know, because certain things that you can't see or ask questions of, they do. Because I heard what you said, my brother, about, going on the internet. But the internet, you can change Google's information. So you can make something to make you see what you want to see.
And that's why you have to be even more careful when you're meeting somebody online.
Absolutely.
Because you can put anything on
want
there.
it. Right.
It's different when you meet somebody in person. Like this brother drove here today. We know he real now. You know what I mean? And he did on there virtual. We were like, we don't
I take
know.
that 3-hour drive come here, I couldn't do this if I was virtual.
You know? But he in studio, so now I'm online ordering my sweatshirt. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
How much is the T-shirt? I got 30,000. What can I do for 20?
Take one sleeve off.
I was just about to write that in the comments next to my order. I only got $40. See if they got
40. How much is a short sleeve?
See if they send me a short sleeve hoodie.
Do a short sleeve. Just a short. You got. How about a wife beater? You got the wife beater.
But what if I get my hoodie without the string?
Yeah, without the
Crop top.
Just cut out the hood. I'll be all right. Dude, that's crazy. Man.
So what happened with it, Sizzle? They're now divorced and they've gone their separate ways?
Yeah, when she got that message from saw the messages from the prostitute, that's when she finally was like, that's it. Because by this time he had injured his knee and he was like in the bed and for a couple weeks and wasn't going.
So the money wasn't going.
All the other lies didn't matter. It was just when he cheated.
coming in.
Yes.
So she didn't care about all the other lies.
So she kicked him out. When he left, he came to Philly. And then when
We
he got
don't want you.
I'm about to say, don't come down here with all that.
Exactly,
We don't want
because
you.
his family don't mess with him like that.
Yeah, we
so
don't
when
want
he
you to
came
go back.
to Philly, they wanted nothing to do with him. So he came back to Georgia. He was trying to stay with her. She called the police. So they happened to find that he had a warrant out for his arrest because he
Jesus
had a
Christ.
criminal background. Like when she was going through his stuff, she found that I think he was on probation or something like that, but he was doing his sentence on weekends. You know how you get like the work release and you can work during the week, but then the weekends you can do your sentence. So she contacted the police and they did say that there was a warrant out. Because first they were like, well, you guys are still married, so he can technically still be there. So when he got there, she called the police. They arrested him, took him into custody. He was there for a little bit, but he ended up getting out because the warrant had expired, which I never heard about no. I mean, I guess
what
it
was
does.
he arrested for?
He was arrested for impersonating a police officer. Yeah, he had other arrests, but that was one of the arrests that he had.
The plot whole thing. This plot is.
But that's
You
what
said-
happened. You could be what he wanted to be, whoever he wanted to be.
I'm curious. You said that
Yes.
he was doing his like some of the time on the weekend.
Yeah, on the weekends he would go turn himself in, I guess, every weekend
So
to
what's in
serve his time.
What did he tell her what he doing on the weekend? Like, yo, I'm curious.
She
didn't-
never mentioned that.
I
She
would
never
love to know
mentioned
that.
what he told her.
It's
he
starting to
was
sound
doing.
like she got a little bit stuff she leaving out about her.
Well, she did. She did say that she just really wanted it to be her time. So when she said that, I kind of felt bad for her because it was like, women dream of their, this fairy tale wedding and meeting the man and this proposal and all this stuff. So I mean,
And
for
when you
some
want it,
women,
everybody that come in your path, you like, he the one,
exactly,
and it don't be.
exactly. For some women, it's just like they're so in love with the idea of being in love or in love with having this lavish wedding, and they don't think
So they
about
looking over certain things, the red flags.
because they just want to be married. so
Just be
bad.
safe. The first step when meeting anybody, whether it's a friend, foe, business partner, somebody you're trying to deal with romantically, be safe, especially when you're meeting people online.
First thing.
That's the
Yes.
very first thing. Just be safe. I know, like, I lived by myself for like 16 years. I had a certain way I did things when I met people, and people don't know where you live. People don't have certain information. You just until you really, really vet them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no 3 weeks.
And
She
let your
said-
folks know.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of stuff she kept from her family because she didn't want them to know what she had gotten herself into. But
That's interesting.
yeah, it's.
And and that's how you know that they know what they're doing. It doesn't really make sense because if you would say to another person out loud, "Oh yeah, I met him 3 weeks ago, and now he's living here, and I'm pregnant."
Yes.
3 weeks? What? Were you crazy? You already know what your friends and family gonna say to you.
So she kept
That's
that to herself.
exactly.
Yeah. But I think he did speak out once they found, it was they started saying that he was who he was and his name was put out there and he was like, she's lying.
Of course.
He
Of
need,
course, what else would he say?
he need to make his own 150-part series now. His rebuttal, because there's two sides of every story, right?
Yes.
That's what he needs to do. Make his
Yeah.
own money.
Yeah,
Tell
that's
his
it.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 sides to a
Yeah,
story.
if he's listening to this, you better start working on that.
Well, he talking to dead uncles. Like, how far he gonna get in his storytelling? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than that too. So I mean, if you have 8 hours to spare,
And people's family be knowing them.
Appreciate you just giving that.
Yeah, that's enough for me. I'm worn out just hearing that. I'm good. I'm all right. Yeah. No doubt.
I did see someone posted on Facebook that they that they watched. They said, "Okay, just finished the 50-part, whatever." And her comment was pretty much like, "Well, I started and I was vested, so I just kept going." Because somebody was like, well, "How did you get through it?" But she was, once you kind of in the middle of something, it's like, I might as well just finish it, right?
yep.
That's great marketing, though.
Yeah, it is.
Did she get she got some merch now? I mean,
She might
she's
get
hopefully
some
she made a
like
shirt or
lifetime
something out of
deals
this.
or
I
something.
saw somebody
$200,000.
do a I don't know if it was real, but it's probably fake. They took they did like a fake movie poster, and they put two actors on there. It was the guy who played in Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married?
Okay, that was a good movie.
And then it was another girl. I was like, is this real? Like, I was like, wait, because I was like, that's fast. So she got a deal already.
You know what? That would make a good Tyler Perry movie too.
It would.
You know?
Yeah.
That sounds like a
Yeah,
Tyler.
that's
Sound
super
like
tight. They're already in Georgia already.
I think he already got one.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there'll be a remix.
But if anybody in Philadelphia has dated this man, reach out to us because we would love to hear his story.
Yeah, come on, we talk.
Yeah.
They don't know if they dated him or not because he probably a whole different person with them. He probably a pilot with
Picture of
them.
him.
Right.
Yeah,
I think she put his, didn't she put his picture
She
up?
put his picture up.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
his picture is
drawn.
out there.
No, she not. That's what you supposed to do.
No, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing, man.
Well, when
She
you
warning all the sisters.
Now, question: did she take accountability though? And,
Yeah,
like,
she does.
she
Like
does.
the whole time, she was like, "Cause I see y'all in the comments, y'all coming at me." So she does explain, like, for some of the comments, she was like, "Yeah, she was like, I was just, I know I did bad. I should have did more research. I
long as
should
she
have looked
took-
at." Yeah,
alright,
so
that's
she
what's-
does.
alright,
Like,
she
throughout
good.
the whole thing, she
Alright,
is.
alright. Long as
So
she did
she's-
that, that's a good one. Alright.
The best teacher is experience.
Yeah, I know that's
Yeah.